providing that there's no drama with the light situation at the Sir Vivian Richard Oval, there should be an exciting regional Super 50 semi-final match between Trinidad and Tobago Red Force and the Barbados Pride. Hello everyone, this is the Cricket Forum, your place for the latest news, views, rumors, and gossips in the world of cricket. Please slash a like on the video, share, and subscribe. Before we get into the show, I must tell you, that if you want to watch sport, including the semi-final today between Trinidad and Barbados, if you want to watch the test matches coming up between the West Indies and Australia, if you want to watch the World Cup that is going to take place starting next week, please click on the link in this video description. There's a link there in the video description from Bing Sport. So today's show is brought to you by Bing Sport, who broadcast sports all over the world, all the sports that you need to watch. If you need to watch sport, there's a link in the video description from Bing Sport. Click on it and subscribe, and you will be able to watch all sports from all over the world. The rates are very, very competitive. So now you don't have to worry about where you're going to watch sports. Just click on the link in the video description, subscribe. The rates are very, very, very competitive. Now to the show. Please click on the link and you will be able to watch sports from all over the world. Formula One, World Cup football, English Premier League, you name it, La Liga, and the price is very competitive. So please click on the link in the description and subscribe. Now to today's match. Now, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force will play the Barbados Pride in the first match of the semifinals of the regional Super 50 tournament. Now, this match is expected to be a close match, but I'm going to give Trinidad and Tobago the edge mainly because of their bowling. Their bowlers have been performing well, and in Cajun Otley, they have the third leading run scorer in the competition. Now, Barbados batting have really revolved around Shea Hope. Shea Hope, who have 287 runs. He's the second leading run scorer in the competition. And there's the opener, McCaskey. The McCaskey who opens for the Barbados Pride. He has 198 runs. So these two are really the two that have been carrying the batting. The Barbados Pride batting. That's Hope and McCaskey. Now, Chase made 143 runs before he left for Australia. The only other batsman in this Barbados team that have more than 100 runs is Shea Hope's brother, Kyle Hope. So the Barbados batting, although they qualify for the semifinals, the batting revolves a lot around Shea Hope, or some say Shy Hope, whatsoever your pronunciation, we will go with that. So now, with the batting so heavily dependent on Shea Hope and to a lesser extent McCaskey, I am expecting this Trinidadian bowling attack led by Gabriel, who have picked up 10 wickets so far in the tournament. And remember that the Red Force and the Guyana RP Eagle played their zone match, their group match in Trinidad. So now they have flown over to Antigua, where the semifinals and finals will be played. And so maybe the pitch will give Barbados an advantage, knowing that they have been playing there. They have been playing all their matches there so far. We're wondering that if that could be an advantage for Barbados. But the Trinidadian bowling has been very good because the highest score that Trinidad have made so far is 266. That's 266. That's the highest score that Trinidad have made so far in this competition. That I think that is a 12th or 13th highest score in the competition. The Windward Islands, the Windward Volcanoes, they are the only team that would have scored more than 300 runs in this competition. To be frank, it was exactly 300. The Windward Volcanoes. They are the only one who have centurions in this competition. Both Kevin Hodge with 1 century and Alec Atanase with 2 centuries are the only centurions in this competition so far. But the Windward Volcanoes are out of the competition. They got knocked out by Trinidad and Guyana. So what we see here now is that a Trinidad and Tobago bowling led by Gabriel, who have so far taken 10 wickets at 15, along with Yannick Carrier. Carrier have also taken 10 wickets at 20.6, at an average of 20.6. So they have led this Trinidadian bowling to able to defend some very small totals. And Akil Hussain, who also have 9 wickets. Akil Hussain have 9 wickets, Carrier have 10, and Gabriel have 10. And they impart with the help of Narayan. And although Narayan only have 6 wickets, Narayan's overs are only going for 2.87 runs per over. So Narayan is bowling is 10 overs for only 28 runs. So with the economy of Narayan and the strike rate of Gabriel and Hussain and Yannick Carrier, Trinidad and Tobago were still able to top their zone, although they have not been making a lot of runs. Because Cajan Utley, apart from his 263, and in the last match, Pooran made 99 not out. Pooran made 99 not out. So before that, he had only scored 124 runs in the tournament. Before he makes the 199 not out in the last match, he had only scored 124 runs in the tournament. So far, the batting was mainly led by Cajan Utley with his 263 runs. But it's the bowling that have been doing the damage for Trinbago Red Force, where they reached so far, because their batsmen have not been performing. Darren Bravo have chipped in with 172 runs, but mostly it is the bowling, led by Gabriel and Yannick Carrier with 10 wickets each, and Hussain with 9, and Narayan, although only getting 6 wickets, he have been very, very economical. So I expect them to beat the Barbados Pride, who really depend and share up to get their runs. And the thing about it now, the Barbados Pride bowling is not all that strong either, because their leading wicket taker is still Chase, and Chase got 7 wickets and have left to play with the West Indies team in Australia. So Chase is not there. They have a very good leg spinner named Leacock, who have gotten 7 wickets so far. So Leacock have gotten 7 wickets at an average of about 24.71, 25 per wicket. So Leacock is their leading wicket taker with 7 wickets. And I really don't think this Barbados team can beat Trinidad. I think the batting of the Barbados rely too much on Oak and to a lesser extent on McCaskey. And this Trinidad team is really bowling well, and you expect that anytime Pooran can come to the party, and especially he's now looking at IPL contract, you're going to see probably a different Pooran, and that 99 that he made in the last match could be a reflection, because naturally you would have gotten the news before us. It could be a reflection that he's now looking an IPL contract and he's going to buckle down and play some serious cricket. So I expect that Trinidad Red Force will win the first semifinals. In the second semifinal, which will be a very closer match than the first one, I expect Trinidad to win easily and comfortably today. The next semifinals tomorrow, I expect it to be a closer match. That will be between Jamaica and Guyana. Now, both teams have not been batting well. If you think that Barbados batting rely really around Hope, Jamaica batting really, it depends on Rovman Powell and Brandon King. Brandon King who have scored 261 runs in the tournament so far, and Powell 216. The next best Jamaican batsman in this tournament, is Andre McCarthy with 109 runs. So this Jamaican batting is very poor. And remember, they lost chasing 183 against the West Indies Academy. So this Jamaica batting, it relies a lot on those two persons, King and Powell. And as usual, Odin Smith is ups and downs, so you don't know if he's going to come into the finals, especially that they're playing against Guyana, and in the semifinal, I should say. You don't know if he's going to come into the semifinal, especially that they are playing against Guyana, and then he's going to give you one of those brilliant innings, those fast, exhilarating innings. But this Jamaica batting really, really relies heavily on King and Powell. Now, their bowling is really the standout bowling in the leg of the tournament that was taking place in Antigua. And Bulai with 12 wickets, with his left-arm Chinaman googly bowling, have been mesmerizing the batsmen in this tournament. Bulai has been mesmerizing the batsmen. Good morning, Sheldon Smith. Yes, I also agree that Trinidad and Tobago is going to win the semi-final. I know. Sabio Jamaica will struggle to chase anything over 200. I agree with you because the batting depends so much on Powell and King that because apart from those two batsmen, as I've said, is only Andre McCarthy is the only other Jamaican batsman who have scored over 100 runs in the tournament so far. His total is 109. So it really depends on King, who have scored 261, and Ravman Powell, who has scored 216. So Sabio 14, I agree with you. And I also agree with Sheldon that with the bowling that Trinidad Red Force have, it's going to be very, very difficult for the Barbados Pride to beat them. So I agree with both of you. But this Jamaican team, though, with Bulai is mesmerizing the batsmen in this tournament. And his 12 wickets are coming at less than 14. His 12 wickets are coming at less than 14 apiece. And his he have a best figures 4 for 32. Nicholas Gordon, who have 10 wickets, Javon Royal 9, and Odin Smith 8, shows a very competent and decent Jamaica bowling attack. Now, on the other hand, Guyana, Motti with 11 wickets and Shepherd with 10. Their bowling have struggled because only Kevin Sinclair, who have 5 wickets, is the next best bowler for Guyana. And Kevin Sinclair, 5 wickets, is coming at 40. And his economy is 43. So their bowling is struggled. So that may give the edge to Jamaica with a weak Guyana bowling attack. A number of persons think that Motti should have been in Australia. He have got 11 wickets in this tournament so far. A very good return because the top wicket taker with 14 is Kofi James from the Leeward Islands. Kofi James for the Leeward Islands. Surprisingly, in this tournament, the leading run getter, Alec Atanase, 292 from the Windward Islands, and the leading wicket taker, Kofi James, 14 wickets from the Leeward Islands. Both countries have been knocked out of the tournament. So it's very surprising. And Windward Islands, who is the only team to have scored 300 runs in the tournament, they also have been knocked out. So it says a lot about the consistency of the performances of the team. But I expect that the Jamaica-Guyana match will be a very close match. The Jamaica batting is not impressive. The Guyana bowling is not impressive. And Guyana have a very awesome batting lineup on paper. If you look at the Guyana batting lineup on paper, it have Bramber, it have Imla, who have a lot have been said about Imla. He's one of the outstanding batsmen in the tournament so far. He have scored over 248 runs to be Guyana leading batsman, followed by Bramber 152 and Romario Shepherd 143. Those are the 3 leading batsmen from the Guyana team. So Imlak 248, Anthony Bramber 152, Romario Shepherd, 143, are the leading batsmen so far from the Guyana's team. But if you look at this Guyana batting lineup on paper, it's a very, very strong batting lineup with Bramber, Imlach, and remember, Imlach was a part of the winning under 19 World Cup team in 2016. Hetmeyer, Johnson, Rutherford, Shepherd, and to back up those, you have Matty and you have Kevin Sinclair, and I think you have Savory in it. So this Guyanese batting lineup is a very, very strong batting lineup on paper. But they'll be coming up against a very skillful Jamaican bowling attack. And this one is very close to call. But I'm just going to give Jamaica the edge because I think bowling win more matches than batting. It needs both to win every match. But I think bowling win more matches than batting. Bowling tend to give the team the edge in each match more than batting. So I'm going to go with Jamaica to beat Guyana. So the two finalists should be Trinidad and Jamaica. So I expect Trinidad to beat Barbados today. And tomorrow I expect Jamaica to beat Guyana. Now, we are I want to point out something about the IPL. Because last year, only for this year tournament that took place in April and May, the IPL, before the auction, only 3 West Indians were retained. Russell, Narayan, and Pollard. Those were the only 3 West Indians that were retained before the auction for this year tournament. Now, before the auction, which is going to take place on December 23rd, yes, the auction is going to take place on December 23rd. This year, we have 7 West Indian retained before the auction. That's an increase of more than 100%. Because for the last auction, there were only 3 that were retained. And this time around, 7 West Indians have been retained before the auction. And we must give thanks for that. Added to that, Kieron Pollard is now the coach of the batting coach of the Mumbai Indians. So Kieron Pollard, our former captain, is now the batting coach of the Mumbai Indians. So it's a very good thing. 3 retained at the last time. This time, 7 retained. So that says something about West Indies cricket, despite our poor performances in the World Cup. And most of the players that are retained have been doing well for their franchises. And the auction that is coming up on the 23rd of December, we expect that a number of players will be picked up in that auction. Even some of those players who were released, maybe they will not go for the same figure or the same price that they went for the last time. But we expect that some of these players will be picked up. Oh, Craig Mohammed is a Red Force, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. What have I been saying? Thank you for that correction. But the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, they are going to beat Barbados. So we must look at this as a positive, because moving from 3 to 7, that's 133% increase. So we have more players retained this time before the auction than the last time. And as I said, come the 23rd of December, I expected that more West Indian players would be picked up in the auction. They may not fetch the same price as they did the last time, but I expect that more of them are going to be picked up. And I expect the semifinals, these 2 semifinals that are coming up, I expect a number of these West Indians players to raise their game. Just like how Pooran raised his game in the last match that he played in the group stage of the Super 50, expect some fireworks from these West Indian batsmen and these West Indies players. And when the Super 50 finish on Saturday, by Sunday, most of them are going to be flying out to Abu Dhabi. A large number of West Indians are flying out to Abu Dhabi to play in the Abu Dhabi T10, which starts next week. And expect again some fireworks from these West Indians, because they are not going to want to watch the IPL from home. So expect some fireworks. They are going to put their best foot forward, because the auction that is coming up on the 23rd, a number of them will be in the auction and they will be expected to get good price. So I'm very happy that on this occasion, instead of only 3 West Indians were retained, 7 have been retained, plus Pollard is the coach of the Mumbai Indians, the batting coach of the Mumbai Indians. Supernova 22 said it will be good for their development for when they play for the West Indies, hopefully. Yes, Supernova, given on our World Cup performance, I think some players are lucky the Indians like our players so much. Yes, they do like our players, and we bring a brand to them. We bring a brand that the world still love. And we are very happy and we are very grateful that instead of 3 being retained like the last time, 7 is now retained. And we expect that some more will be picked up in the auction on December 23. So they are going to go to the Abu Dhabi T10 and they'll be firing on all cylinders. Players like Pooran, Drakes, Bravo, because Bravo, that's the older Bravo, Drakes, Simit, Rutherford, they will be firing. Romario Shepherd, watch these guys in the Abu Dhabi T10. And as I said, this broadcast is brought to you by Bing Sport. And if you want to watch sports that is happening all over the world, including today's semi-final between Trinidad and Barbados, including the Abu Dhabi T10, including the World Cup football that is coming up, including the test matches between Australia and the West Indies, including the English Premier League, La Liga, and so on. Click on the link in the video description. There is a link on the video description, and subscribe to Bing Sport and watch sports from all over the world. So if you had a problem catching up with sports, here now is an opportunity for you to click on the link in the video description and subscribe to Bing Sport. Thank you everyone for tuning in. May you have a blessed day, and God bless you wherever you go.